Hello everybody and welcome to OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and I'm here with the 7th round from my run in the Limitless Invitational, the first qualifier. We're currently 4-2 playing ADP-zation, and this round we had a really interesting game against the Beheeyem deck. I don't know whether it was the exact same 60, but it was a very close 60 to the deck that Chip Ritchie, Trainer Chip, and Grant Manley played in the tournament as well. Again, I'm not 100% sure whether it was the same 60 or whether it was a similar 60, whether it was created independently or he was part of the testing group. I don't know, but either way, really interesting game. Starts with an Oricorio, which is obviously really big in these one prize style decks that are throwing up dolls as well. That kind of stuff, really big that our opponent starts with a 3 prizer, because that's where you really get a sort of big advantage turn. I remember really not knowing what to expect. I could see the deck list, but I didn't really know kind of the turns, how they would play out, stuff like that. So I remember taking my time a little bit with this game, just trying to work out exactly sort of the lines of play to go for. We do have an energy turn 1, which is really nice. Kind of the only thing you really need. I could have Dedenade there, but I didn't really want to get rid of this Gusting. I felt Gusting would be really important in this matchup to be able to, 1, get around Dolls, but 2, get rid of Elgyms quickly so he couldn't chain Beheeyems and stop us using our Gusting altogether. So I really wanted to hold on to this this custom, sorry. There was nothing we really needed to do. There was no real big benefit of being able to draw a load of cards. I should have popped the Swell down. Unfortunately, he did have his 1 shrine. He only plays 1 shrine. But I should have just put the Swell down. There was no reason for me not to. So that was a misplay, I must admit. But yeah, the rest of the turn, I don't think I needed to Dedenne, so I was pretty happy just Intrepid Swording and seeing what we drew. We also have this Guzhala next turn to guarantee the more difficult energy to find in the special energy, because obviously the specials only play 2 of them, whereas metals I play 9. So I think it was the correct play, even though I should have played the Swell, to hold this Guzhala and guarantee an energy next turn. So yeah, we do go for the Guzhala. Again, I'm really not sure kind of how the turns are going to play out with this deck. So I'm not 100% sure what to expect, but we are able to get the turn 2 GX, which is really big. Saving some of these custom catchers also seems very important as well, hence me grabbing the Oranguru. Marnie also seems like another strong card, potentially, just because being able to Marnie our opponent out of combo pieces seems good. They've got an Oricorio on board, so maybe they're going to want to be trying to draw up a big hand and basically not have to look for Beheeyems and Elgyms and energy every turn, because he's just going to have a big hand and always have it, basically. So Marnie, again, seems pretty important, but I decided to save the custom catcher just because there's only 1 Beheeyem target on the board right now that could become a Beheeyem, and he needs to ditch a doll as well to be able to put another Elgym down to guarantee a Beheeyem the next turn. So I feel like I'm not going to be item locked this turn, so I can hold to this custom catcher to try and lock in some kind of Gusting at some point during the game. Like I say, being able to take out 2 of these 3 prizes quickly is probably one of our best bets. So yeah, we do then go for the Altered Creation, as you saw, and our opponent starts setting up, grabbing some switching cards, grabbing some supporters back into the deck, and starts throwing up these dolls as well. Obviously, uses 1 doll to put to the bottom of the deck, and then sends up the doll with the Lucky Egg, so that when I attack into this doll, he's going to be drawing some more cards as well. So dolls with Lucky Eggs actually can be pretty scary. You take no prizes. Your opponent draws up until they have 7 cards, and then he has the Oricorio on board as well to be able to further draw if he takes if I take a knockout. So yeah, it's a pretty scary combo, to be honest. But obviously this setup is relatively taxing. You need a lot of stage 1s, and you need to consistently find your stage 1s as well. So yeah, we do have access to the attack this turn. So ideally, I want to be looking for some kind of gusting, probably to knock out this Oricorio, to stop him drawing 3 cards when I take knockouts, and then looking for some more gusting later on to take out the Zacian. Attacking this doll isn't too bad because he's only drawing 1 card from it, but he is getting an extra draw from the Oricorio, so I really want to hit a catcher or a custom here. Unfortunately, I don't hit either, which is really sad. We have 1 custom in hand already, and catchers are in our deck as well, so we have a fairly large amount of outs. I don't remember how many we've gone through already, but I'm pretty sure there's we are going to be able to still get a knockout on the doll. I do go for the research as well. I haven't researched yet. Maybe I should have researched before going for the dig with the Jirachi. Maybe that was a misplay. I see more cards that way. But also, I have 1 custom already in hand. So I have way more. Like, it's harder to find 2 customs than 1 custom, obviously. So I don't know what the correct order was there. I think there's arguments for either way. Obviously, on reflection, I didn't get what I needed. So maybe I should have just gone the other way, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. Either way, I'm going to be Ultimate Raying this Lily's Poker Doll. He does draw the 1 extra card for the egg, then the draw for turn, and then the 3 extra from Oricorio. So again, maybe just passing there was fine. Maybe that was the correct play. I think because it didn't progress my board state all that much, yes, it got me set up with some energy, but I already had an energy in hand for Zacian. So maybe it was correct to just pass there. Again, hindsight is wonderful. I really did not know what I was doing against this deck, so I probably made a few mistakes, and I think that may have been one of them. Does grab another doll, and obviously he has 2 targets that can evolve into Beheeyem now, which is kind of scary, because it means he needs to find Beheeyem rather than Elgiums for a couple of turns. Obviously, he has things like Evo Incense as well. You saw them playing the 1 Unbroken Bonds Wheezing as well, so it looks like this deck can be a real spread deck as well. This deck is really interesting. I actually think I'm going to try it out. He actually misses all of the Beheeyem pieces, so just has to Intrepid Sword and give me another doll, which gives me another turn of trying to gust up this some of these 1 prizes, and these 2 prizes, and try and win that way, which is nice. That at least gives us access to a bit like a different win condition rather than just getting rid of all of these dolls. I do go for the research here, and I think this is the turn that I lost the game. I went for the research, only had 2 cards in hand then, and my last Marnie was prized. I'm pretty sure it was anyway. I'm sure I'll look at my discard in a second anyway. But I'm pretty sure I remember my last Marnie being prized. Again, a huge oversight on my part. I did get the knockout on the Oricorio, which is huge. That's really what we need. But maybe it was just wrong to take the knockout there, to dig for the knockout there. Maybe I should have just tried to high roll the 1 catcher and not dig through my deck with research. Obviously, a lot of these items are going to be pretty useless as soon as he starts hitting the Beheeyem lock in. So, I'm not sure whether that was correct. I think, again, on reflection, it's easy to say it wasn't correct. But, maybe maybe it was, I don't know. Maybe it was way too risky to ever try that and then try and get the money off of the prizes. But it was the play I made, and regretfully, it was the play that I think lost me the game. This Beheeyem deck is, I actually think, probably stronger than it ever has been. It was kind of a meme around Worlds last year, but it actually seems fairly scary. As you can see, it's placing a lot of counters down. There's 70 on my active already. There's 40 on all of my bench. I think there's 60 on the Zacian. That's a lot of counters, so it can really deal a big amount of spreading damage with the 1 Wheezing as well. So there might actually be some merit to this archetype. Definitely one I'm going to try out at some point if I get the chance before Rebel Clash comes out. But yeah, it's pretty easy for him. He now has, I believe, only a few cards left in deck to be able to find this Beheeyem lock every turn. And obviously I don't have my Marnie, so I can't necessarily shuffle that away. He has 10 cards, so a Marnie would not guarantee him any of the pieces. because there's 10 cards in there that he could miss. But even so, it's not looking good. He's even able to promote and let me take an extra 2 prizes here. Rather than giving me the doll, he's able to promote a Beheeyem, an Elgin, and take an extra 2 prizes here. This is the kind of matchup where maybe Fion would have been the strongest, but that being said, unfortunately, I don't play it. We missed the money again. Unless I've missed it in the prizes. I remember thinking in this game that the Marnie was prized, so and I'd missed it twice on my last prize twice, unfortunately. But hey ho, he then stamps me, and I think stamping was incorrect here. I don't know what he was scared of. I'd be interesting to find out what he was scared of. If you're watching in the comments, please let me know, because I think I only had 1 card left in deck. So, and if you locked me and sent up the doll, I don't think there was, and then maybe even put another doll down, I don't think there was any way for me to be able to win this turn. I have no board space, I have no access to items, so I don't know what supporter you were scared of. Marnie may be the reason that you decided to reset stamp. But yeah, you know, I think I was 1 turn away from decking out, because I drew my last card for that turn, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know why the decision was made to go for the reset stamp there, but even so, he's in a pretty good spot either way. He's able to deal enough damage to kill the Jirachi and then Mysterious Noise to knock out the ADP. So it's a 4 prize turn from Beheeyem, and setting up these Dedenes for a lovely Great Catcher KO next turn. So yeah, this is looking pretty scary. Obviously, I have no way of being able to Gust. I do have a lot more turns deck-wise, which is nice. But at this point, I needed to basically hit my Marnie. No, hit my... What was the card I was looking for off the top? I don't remember what I was looking for off the top. But basically, there was nothing I could do with any of these items. There was still, like, I want to say 8 or 9 items in my deck. So all of them are pretty useless. Maybe 8 is a fair estimate. I didn't quite count before I shuffled in. But a lot of these top decks are going to be useless. So I was going to have to get pretty lucky to get out of this spot. I wasn't immediately dead. He did need to have Great Catcher, but he did play 2 Great Catchers, I remember. That was me trying to analyse what was left in his deck with the deck list next to me to see what his win con was, and I established that Great Catcher was going to be his win con. I am able to take the knockout on the doll here. Obviously, the Lucky Egg does nothing, and so I just need to try and churn through these dolls, hope that he doesn't have access to the combo. But unfortunately he does. He does grab the Great Catcher as well. So does take the win. We're now at a 4-3 record. Really interesting game. Really interesting deck. I remember against the Obstagoon I was pretty salty because I played awfully. Against the Baby Blounds I wasn't salty, but I wasn't super happy. But against this I really didn't, even though I'm pretty sure I played very badly, I wasn't actually that bothered about losing to this because it was a really interesting and inventive deck, and obviously Grant did pretty well with it as well, getting day 2, so definitely something there. I believe Chip has done a video on it, so if you want a little more insight, make sure you go and check out Chip's video on Beheeyem, because obviously he played the deck for the tournament, so they probably have a better insight than me, as I haven't tested it so far, but it's definitely one I'm looking into giving a go because it seems pretty fun. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for round 8 coming soon. And yeah, make sure you sign up for these tournaments because they're a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks everyone.